Greetings once more to all of you out there. Of course, our adventures continue. Our heroes, as they would be, have now defeated a portion of the leadership of the Grey Maidens. Perhaps dealt a blow which would be very difficult to recover from. Not that their forces are routed, but enough that a resistance force may have more of a chance they would have a little bit ago. But there is one final thing to do before they leave. They must rescue the last person that they were actually heading for. Marcus still remains in the trapped. Now, as we resolve this, we begin the journey to Scarwall. Come, adventure. Yes, welcome everybody.
After a shopping trip.
I mean, that's going to be that, and there's going to be some role-playing stuff.
Shopping?
And, you know, a bunch of role-playing stuff, and a, person showing up or something, all these kind of things. Anyway.
There's a new mysterious K letter
new mysterious person down in
tab spot.
In tab spot for now.
Tab had to go on a break.
Got it.
Look, Lynn had some stuff.
Tab had some business in Baldur's Gate.
I mean, Tavel could still theoretically be there, just in the background. All of a sudden, you're like, we need someone with archery skills.
Tavel
This is the past 2 or 3 sessions.
Tavel has conked out for the night. He's gone to bed. It's past Tavel's bedtime.
Look, if anybody's seen the original Gamers, I just think of blood, death, and vengeance. Anyway, look, reference for like 5 people.
Am I there?
I've seen it.
Can I go into a barbarian rage?
It's a deep cut.
Look, I have the deep cuts deep in my soul. Look, if you want deep role-playing humor and memes, then you come to me. If you want something, is there new role-playing memes? I don't know. Maybe? If so, I'll have to look out for them.
The newest
Anyway.
roleplay meme is 1D&D.
You're not wrong. So.
Let's search this place and kill everyone upstairs.
Going upstairs would be unrecommended,
No,
I will tell you.
Most likely just gonna have this cool undead lady stay at this hallway.
Yeah. Basically, the upstairs has a garrison,
What if a mouse went upstairs?
Well, that's your problem.
I mean, and if you want to fight like a couple hundred people that are like, maybe mixed levels, but enough of them can take you out with the stuff.
Unlimited fireballs.
It's like 100 rats versus a party of 5, right? The rats are eventually gonna win.
Yeah. They're eventually gonna win. A lot of them will die, but they eventually will win. It's not really a great idea. Anyway,
I can get my AC up to 38.
Alright, so... what are we doing with this one we've taken alive?
That's a question.
That's
what are
my
you
question.
doing with that person?
How are we dealing with this one?
We could drag her out and see if one of the people that we work with can figure out how to unbrainwash them. That might be beneficial.
Yes.
I could carry her.
I'm not carrying her.
I can carry her.
You might want to remove the armor.
Well, yeah.
Also, I go in. I know we
that?
freed all of the people in the outside cells, but I free the people in the cages.
Yeah, they're
in
still
the
there.
room up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like a good plan.
I will go and search.
Do you want to put me back to normal size?
Someone should search. I think we should just split up to search real fast. Like one of us searches because there's basically 4 rooms to search. This room.
Tell you that there are a number of rooms to search. The one off of where you fought the Mother of Thorns will have some information, but it won't be what you're necessarily looking for.
It might be information we want, though.
Yes. It appears to have been when this place was an actual jail. More than likely, the room where the Mother of Thorns was the execution chamber.
That's what that little thing is. It's a chopping block.
Yeah. They didn't get rid of it. They're just using the room for something else. The filing office there has records of the executions. You don't need to be shrunk. We're leaving this map. Okay. I'm not showing us over the map because it doesn't really make a big difference.
Okay.
They've been kind of stacked aside, and in turn, new paperwork seems to have been put in here, which they actually have observations on the various works of the Mother of Thorns and the goings and comings of the secret tunnel.
Yeah.
Interesting information, but perhaps not super.
Should still take it.
We're not going to let them keep that research on how the Mother of Thorns tortured people. I feel like that would only help.
I guess
That
it's like
information could help with the cure.
Yeah,
as well.
I would
too.
take that and give it to the people who are trying to have
in
the
Shuri's
resistance.
people.
in your Tishuri's room, who was the Dark Souls boss who went around the corner.
This one.
Yes.
Big red bed.
Yeah. Anyway, there are investigations. The papers that she has on the table are records of the indoctrination of Grey Maidens that track conditioning, scars, and methods of brainwashing.
We'll also give those. To the
Any of you
resistance.
speak Elven? Because in the margin there's some Elven written.
I think I do. Let me check really fast.
I think I do.
I do speak Elven. Those are
Okay.
all my languages.
It
Those
does
aren't
seem-
all my language. I typed
It does-
six more.
So she sure does have some concern that the leader of the Grey Maidens, Sabina Marin, has undergone far less conditioning than the rest of the maidens have endured.
Okay.
But yeah, the
Which
idea
one-
of the
which one was the-
conditioning,
Which one was
The big
Sabina? I feel like-
leader.
the one that stands next to the queen.
Yeah.
Got it.
The big cheese.
Yeah, which means she probably is more voluntary.
Yes. Probably
Or
all of you have
easier
enough
to
knowledge
break.
local to know is before the queen rose to power, Sabina was the personal guard of the queen all before the king died. So
Yeah.
she has been at the queen's side for a long time. Just now she's in the role of leader of the Grey Maidens. Got a job upgrade from
I'll be in
bodyguard
the role
to...
of dead soon.
Yeah. But yes.
I prefer not to have that role.
So, in the two
Bodyguard?
rooms near the
Dead.
where we fought the undead lady and those people were captured, two of them are bedrooms. Of course, one was the one that you discovered, Ada, where the Cavalier was staying. It was from her room that you will honestly easy find a cache of some of the loot I gave you. I gave everybody the loot from this place. That's the one that has like the last bit of cache with the potions and the scrolls, including with the limited in the bag of holding type 4.
Makes sense.
It seems like there's most likely an emergency stuff kind of place that she was keeping as one of the leaders. Anyway, one of the rooms seems to have perhaps been a quarter for someone else. It was relatively empty and not really used very much. So there's not much. It's kind of questioning who uses that room. And finally, there is the scroll room, where it contains records of all the women recruited and conditioned to serving the Grey Maidens, along with records who failed to have been indoctrinated. Recruits who continuously fail are eventually executed as traitors to the crown. But a study of the documents here reveals that the unfortunate truth that very few women who resist indoctrination survive the torment they endure long enough to face such an execution. There's no records here for the connection between the crown and red mantises, though again it's pretty obvious from what you did. But basically, a lot of people have technically been going missing, daughters, wives, and sisters, and now you know how many of them are being captured and indoctrinated in the Grey Maidens. You will also
Probably
learn
put
there's
a
a
thorn in that operation for a while.
You've also learned that there is
took
a
a thorn out of
secret cell.
Secrets.
I'm gonna kind of pop over the map just a second for everybody to see, but
Where are the
shift
secret
ping, sorry, up here. This cell at the end of the hall. There's another cell attached to it.
Some oblivion ass prison shit.
Yeah. So that's what you do. You learn about that. the presence, and that's where Andrin is being imprisoned. So you do learn that from the papers here.
Sweet.
Yep. You know the evidence that they've been kidnapping women and basically torment and indoctrinating them into the Grey Maidens.
I feel like we should reveal this give this to someone who can maybe reveal it publicly. When the time is right, of course. Not immediately. Don't want the city to descend to more fucking riots. Well, we're not here.
Especially when all that will do is just cause the Grey Maidens to just crack down and kill everyone.
And the city is currently under, like, martial law, technically, too.
When we want to kick off the Civil War, we should have this actually made public.
So, it is very difficult. Like, the secret door is very well hidden. But the documents that you have will basically make it easy enough that I'm just going to say you can find it. It gives you a plus 20 to your check when it's a DC 40 kind of thing.
It's almost 30 perception.
And though the door is locked, there was a key on one of the people you have killed that perhaps works on this door.
Huzzah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I detect match the door first?
Yeah, technically we got 3 keys. I'm curious what the treasury key is for.
I would... Prison cell master key, entrance key, the treasury key. I will have to look into that exactly.
Maybe the door to where she had all the loot.
Yes,
No,
that was it.
Oh.
The door, because the loot room is off of her room. That secret room that the treasure is, and it was locked when the keys were in that. Sorry, yes. So you've used all. Well, you have a master key already.
Yeah.
We now have 2 master keys.
You do now have 2 master keys.
I will use my eyes, which are permanently detect magic, to examine the door for anything magical.
You know what? We should leave the master key. We don't want them thinking that the master key is been compromised, so they changed the locks.
I think all the guard being dead, they're gonna change the locks.
Yeah.
That's fair. I thought that was also most likely, but okay, we can just get 2 master keys, I guess.
Okay. Opening the door, you will look in and see there is a unconscious man here. No symbol of pain.
You're a symbol of pain.
It's a symbol of pain on that man.
I will reveal what he looks like if you do not have a nice newer image of him. There you go.
Oh, it is this guy.
Yeah. Except he's currently, like, probably not in any of his armor or anything, and he's just, he's kind of, like, unconscious in a puddle of himself. It looks as though he's been beaten regularly. Certainly.
Seen nude.
Probably in, like, prison rags, prison tatters, yeah.
He looks like you do at the start of every Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's in some prison rags, he's been beaten, he's unconscious, he's just kind of there.
Well, I mean, pick him up, I guess.
I think Zardris poops a heel.
Okay. You poop a heel into him, and he kind of wakes, kind of looks around, kind of like shuffles himself over into the corner, kind of like just crying and kind of cringing and like, just kind of making noises.
You are safe now, Marcus.
He does not seem to be responding.
I look at him and I need him to make a Wilson.
Can I gauge his state right now?
Let me roll a d20. Then, okay, what is your DC?
Well, it's 12, so you might save.
I don't think he does. Let me make
Alright.
some math. Okay. Okay, no, actually, wait, he might say 12.
Yeah, DC 12. Sorry, DC 13 for the one I'm casting.
Okay. Then he makes it. Not by a lot.
Damn, I was trying to charm him so he'd be less scared.
Mm-hmm.
Can I gauge his like mental state? Is he like?
Roll a
Sense
heal
motive?
check, I guess? Or, I guess sense motive could work, too.
I'll do sense motive because that's a lot higher.
Nice.
Something seems to be wrong with him.
This is more than just standard. This is more than just a standard broken man. He's had something more done to him.
Brainwashing, most likely.
Zardris got a 26 heal.
I'd say between the two of you, you think because of his actions, the way he's acting, he is suffering from the Feeble Mind spell.
Oh.
His int and charisma are effectively 1 right now. So he is animal intelligence, and has been beaten in a cage for a while.
Well played.
Yeah.
Well, we have something that can cure him.
Following things can remove
Yeah.
Feeble Mind. The heal spell, limited wish, miracle, or wish.
We actually
Yeah, no.
have a scroll of heal, so we
I
can
think
actually
I know
do
why
that.
they gave us a scroll of heal and a scroll of limited wish. Which do we want to use?
I mean, Zardris also might have the heal spell memorized.
Yeah, that's true. The heal spell. Do you have it prepared correctly? Otherwise, just scroll it up, baby.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay,
You want to do
yeah.
it? Go ahead.
I mean, I don't think we're doing much else today, so.
Alright. He kind of, like, cowers a little bit, like, as if you're going to hit him, but then you kind of, like, touch into him, as then, like, you know, his mind seems to, like, you know, almost like, he stops, like, cowering and stuff as he kind of, like, looks up, and he kind of, like, looks around the room as if, like, you know, he's beginning to realize stuff.
Come to his senses.
Do I know you?
Probably not.
Haven't we met Marcus before?
We saw him try to
Uh,
kill the queen.
Yeah,
that's
we were
right.
there when he tried to kill the queen.
He probably
Technically,
doesn't know us.
Tavel? No, is he the
He-
Griffin Rider people?
He is the Griffin Rider people. He might know.
So you
He might also,
might have
again, he
seen
might also
Tavel
know
before.
Zardris, because Zardris was a high-ranking member of their church.
That's true.
So he might know from that. He kind of looks a little confused. You seem so familiar.
You
Why are
tried
you
to
here
kill
to
the queen in front
hear
of us.
We're
We're
here.
here to rescue you.
He's just kind of tear up in his eyes, like, thank you so much. I had given up on everything.
Well,
Everything is so cloudy, but there's so much pain. And
don't worry. We'll take you to some people who can help you recover. You'll be back to yourself in no time.
thank you.
You need hand.
He kind of will try to get himself up, and it definitely looks like he does need some kind of help.
I'll pick him up.
Well, I'll help him because you're the one who's going to be carrying the one unconscious Grey Maiden.
He is at 6 health.
Hell yeah.
He was at -2 and stable before.
Zardris has taken off the mask to show him Zardris' face.
Yeah.
Sweet.
He does seem to have some recognition of
Right.
Zardris, at least.
Is there anything else we need to do here, or shall we move?
I think we should... We've already gotten everything from here, so let's get out of here. There's not much
Agreed.
reason to stay. Perhaps we should destroy that last undead lady.
Oh, yes, I intended to. He's currently just guarding the stairs. I believe
you
we're
mean
more
the
than
Guardian?
capable of batching.
Okay.
That's familiar.
So, you can escape with the information you have and return to the rebellion with your rescued individual. Marcus, in terrible condition, but at least alive and no longer suffering from horrible amounts of feeble mind.
Hell
He's
yeah.
got brain again.
Everything's looking up for this guy.
Yay! No brain damage.
So, arriving back at the rebellion's headquarters, they will be glad to see you. There are some people that will go to help Marcus right away, and Cressida will kind of approach you there. Thank you. What else did you find?
This lady, they've been brainwashing women.
I would place the papers of their brainwashing methods somewhere near, like, in front of Cressida.
We
We
thought it
have
might
their
be prudent.
methodology for it.
We thought it might be prudent if to collect one in case you can discover a way to reverse it.
We can look into it.
And there's a more sensitive matter, though I feel that our friends from the Church of Abadar should be here for that.
And they were using a fallen psychopomp, so perhaps
It
for
wouldn't be
Asmon's-
called a psychopomp.
We know the actual name of it, because I rolled, like,
Yes.
super high.
Let me get its
I mean, but
stats
that's
out.
basically what it is, right?
That would be like 2 degrees of like separation from the actual information for what people like. Rolling high enough, you know that's what they are. They are known as a Saki. S-A-H-K Saka.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well, I'd say we might want to get the Church of Pharasma involved, as they might know what to do, as well.
Nice artist, probably you can help out with Marcus then. I'm looking at. Sue, where is his name? Your kind of friend who can show up to chat with you about this. Ishani.
Yeah.
Ishani will, of course, be contacted people to have their meet with you. He's like, what is it you found? Did you discover something you should speak to me about?
Unfortunately, we did find your church's leader. She was transformed into an undead.
Is
I
she sent her
will-
home?
She has been destroyed.
Thank you.
We brought the remains if you would like to properly bury them.
Do you know if it was the Queen and the Grey Maidens that did this? Or was it something else and that she just, in her new state, joined with them?
We don't know, but I feel as if, given circumstances that she was aiding the maidens, it was them.
I may be able to recruit a few more of my church with this, but unfortunately, still, nonetheless, our leader, as you might be aware, is quite prudent. I do not think that he will unless I have solid evidence. I don't think I can convince him to.
Yes, it would likely be best if the Church of Abelard not help immediately regardless. It might bring too much suspicion.
Archbanker Tuttle will need to be informed of what was discovered, at least. The
Also-
circumstances would be left to nothing. I will
The-
leave out the details,
The
but
least I can do is entrust the corpse to you.
I can mention at least that she was found in the state and slain. methods of her discovery and the methods of her change, I will leave more not to conjecture, at least to think. But thank you.
I'll turn back to Cressida.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if you've heard of disappearing women. But as we did say, we have some paperwork on who was taken and who might be missing. And we also freed a whole bunch of them. I assume we brought them here.
I told them to make their way here.
They already had made their way here and are here.
Okay.
So
yeah, so hopefully they can help you get to the bottom of some other missing people, but
they seem willing to help us even after everything that was said and done.
Yes, but based on what we found, we presume most who weren't converted or, all who weren't converted or, I guess, are released from us, or rescued by us, were executed. Or just died.
A lot of strange things have been happening in the city as of late, and certainly there have been disappearances. This ties to the fact that there was some suspecting that maybe women were being targeted more, but nothing that was in concrete proof, as much terrible things have been happening, unfortunately. So, this does show us that something more is going on. There is something else, though. One of the individuals that you rescued seems to be someone of particular skill, who had been managing to both resist and not seem, perhaps as you said, too far gone to just execute. They wish to speak with you. Maybe offer their services to you. They talked to me directly about it, and I suggested perhaps just helping with the rebellion, but they insisted. You're willing to listen to me?
Very well.
More the merrier.
I'll let you speak to them. She'll kind of go off, and someone will come sauntering in.
Describe your character.
I don't know. Would you saunter? Would you walk in? I mean,
Backflip.
Hop, skip, and a jump.
I would briskly walk in. I'm have very anxious energy, but as soon as I spot the group, I give a very nervous wave, and then I'll walk over and say, so you're the ones that saved me, huh?
Yes.
Apparently.
Yes, we were. Question, do you have equipment already? I.e., did the GM let you buy equipment? Or are we going to give you equipment from our list?
Yes. Turns out Rebellion has some equipment, or the person had equipment wherever they were from that they could retrieve.
Got it.
Real quick description of my character. I'm about 5'6". I'm a female half-orc. I have a short cropped black hair. I'm wearing breastplate, and I have a spiked heavy steel shield and a warhammer, sort of belted at my side. And I have a very stocky sort of build. Definitely look on the stronger side. I also have a pair of wing boots. So that's of interest for my character. I say, so I could go help with the rebellion and all that, but I was thinking that I think I'd be a little bit more useful for you here. You see, I'm something of a cleric myself. I'm a worshiper for Aasimar, and I'd love to come help you if you have me.
Oh. Yes, I think you and the wizard will get along quite well.
Oh, that's just off in the corner, blankly staring.
Unblinking stare.
My character will look over at Ivona, sort of screw my eyes up for a moment, and there's like a glimmer of recognition, but I'll just sort of like shake it off in the moment and sort of like bashfully go look away and say, well, if you'd like, I can come with you.
Very well. We're about to go into quite a dangerous, long sealed-off crypt, or former battleground. It's going to be dangerous. But I want you to know what you're getting into, should you choose to come.
Oh boy, that does sound dangerous. That's something my husband, Phrasma rest his soul, used to do. But I guess I can do that with you. That sounds like a whole lot of fun.
A good choice in weapon. I approve.
Well, thank you. I'm usually in the front when I fight. By the way, I think this fella's with me. I'm gonna point at Joe. What is your character?
Khandes.
And I'm Ada. I'll be up in the front with you.
Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know.
Yes. Ada's normally very front. I stand behind her.
And I swear I recognize you from somewhere. Sort of gesture at Ivona.
Still kind of like... I never describe, but every time there's a conversation she's not really involved in, she's just sort of blankly staring off somewhere in her own head. What?
I recognize you. I'm Ronnie.
She'll like extend her hand, Ivona.
Wait, you work with the Church of Ivona. I recognize you. Did I know you when you were a little sport?
Oh, possibly. I did spend a lot of time at the temple.
The door's actually going to swing open, and you will hear, Cressida! Endred's fine. He's a pansy, but he's okay. We'll be back in action soon. Oh! It's, Dhampir is just kind of standing there, kind of looking at you. The old crone. Didn't you leave the city? Ronnie?
Well,
I thought you were going to go traveling.
I did, and then, didn't really go too well. I sort of got kidnapped, and then it was, like, brainwashing me, and I sort of was, like, resisting them, and then I was like, I think I'm not going to be able to resist you much longer. And then these guys saved me, so that was pretty cool.
Huh. I'm glad you're okay.
Well, yeah.
Where's Croft?
I point.
Because Croft left the room, you know?
I point to where she went. Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting. Just kind of like nicely close the door this time. You know? Alright. So, you have a new ally. What is your current plans?
Well, we're gonna take a second and travel to Magnamar to stock up.
A bunch
Yeah,
of
I gotta
stuff
sleep
and buy
first.
stuff.
Yo, I gotta sleep first before I can do that.
I
You gonna
mean,
take a rest
I
here?
presume
Yeah.
we take a rest here before moving on.
Okay. So, as you are resting, though, Khandes, you are going to hear a voice in your head.
Oh, you're going crazy.
In your head.
Hi
That's what I
there!
Oh,
It's
no.
Laurie! Been talking with some friends, and we want the same thing. We should meet and talk about the, damn!
Where's the dam?
Is that what you're saying back?
That was,
Yes.
that was the...
Where's
Wait,
the
no,
dam?
wait.
Oh, okay.
That was ascending.
What? The response will be, another voice. The voice will come back again. What? Oh, this spell frustrates me. Anyway, it's me again. We should talk. You choose where and when, and then we can be there. See you soon?
Out of game. Do Do I know who that? Do I
That's the
know
evil
who the
cleric,
hell
I think.
Oh,
It's the-
her.
Yep. The cleric, the
We're
lawful evil
heading
cleric.
to Magnamar if you want to meet us there.
Great!
Her name completely popped out of my head. I'm like, Lori.
What's
Lowry.
yeah, what's funny is it wasn't the name that clued me into who she was, it was Tandis's
Yeah,
voice of her.
The cadence,
Very-
yeah.
She's the weird upbeat, yeah.
The weird upbeat BDSM cleric.
She is the weird upbeat BDSM cleric.
See that way,
That
you
is,
know?
that is not wrong. Alright. Well, you can, of course, rest the evening and prepare yourself for the next day and head for Magnamar.
And I will let everyone know that Lori is going to be meeting us there. Also, Khandes totally would have said, "Where is Dam?" I mean,
It
No,
would be.
No,
I
I know
mean-
that totally was fine. I just thought it was just like, oh my goch. Like, I'm not blaming you for it.
I
It was
really
hilarious.
love that she just is like, just bad at using sending. It's
It's a
just.
hard spell.
It is. It's like, you don't really normally have to think about the 25 words. And she's just
Yeah.
like, I like it's the, damn.
So, does everyone? I mean, this is technically only split 5 ways. I hope our newcomer doesn't mind not splitting all the loot we've gotten over the past like 6 weeks.
The new comrade technically probably has a little bit more loot than you, so it's fine.
Oh,
Oh,
if
that would
we
you
were-
probably
that's
had
your
them
loot.
start with proper starting gear.
I did.
Yeah.
Just make it easy.
Basically, the only thing I could think that people might want: belt of physical might, strength con. I don't know if +2.
Nah.
Yeah. And anything else that I'm just like, there's some things where I'm like, could be useful, or it could be useful to someone, so I didn't select it for selling.
I actually have a belt of physical might +2, so.
Yeah. Let's see, the invulnerability, elven chain. Someone said they might want that. Yeah. So I think I'm just. Does everyone mind if trust me that I clicked only the stuff that won't be
Yeah, you're
useful?
good.
Yeah, I looked at it.
Cool.
That's fine.
Okay. And everyone take 32,928 gold and 3 silver.
Math, hold on.
Hold on.
How much?
32.
Why don't you put it in,
I'm Discord. Yeah,
Roll20
I'm gonna put it in
chat.
Discord.
I said roll 20 chat, so people are.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
Let me do this real fast.
Probably gonna have to spend time in Magnamar for upgrades.
Yep. Here we go. And there. Didn't mean to do that little slash, but oh well. That was a
That's a lot
fat
of money.
finger. Yep. Woo! I'm... Okay, let me now clear the thing.
I'm gonna have to do a lot of math for upgrades.
And
for
Mhm.
this session.
silver.
Oh yeah, 3 silver is very important.
So you'll have an
6 silver.
opportunity to spend some money. You'll probably contact the Shwanti people and tell them, like, it's taking a little bit longer to resolve all your things, and also, spending for stuff. That's fine by them. They'll give you.
We also might have another person we need to bless.
Yeah. True. But eventually, as you are finishing your shopping, so go ahead and take care of that all, you'll be contacted by Lori. Hi, I'm in the city. We're at this place I think it's called the Drunken Dog. We're waiting.
Be there shortly. Guys, Lori's at the Drunken Dog.
Alright, let's go.
It's not
Alright.
good to give dog booze, I don't think.
Probably not, but you know what?
Sounds very irresponsible.
So anyway, yes, you can then, of course, head for the Drunken Dog, where a familiar-looking face will, of course, be. For those of you that remember her, good old Lowry. Let me see if I've got her in here to pop her out and show her. There she is. So there's where she is, looking, probably not having the chain out right now. And, beside her are two individuals sitting in a chair. One, and they are in, like, a back, kind of more private corner in this kind of, like, bar that's kind of, like, a little out of the way inside the district that it's in. So it's an out-of-the-way place that's kind of a little quieter, with an out-of-the-way corner, kind of speaking, and, two individuals will be there. Let me show people in chat, and then you folks, what they look like. I'll show you people. There you go.
Oh, I hate what she's wearing.
She's probably also got, like, a cloak on, but you can obviously see that
it's just chain.
Oh gosh, I finally looked over.
It's just chains, right? Like,
knowledge planes on her.
Oh, she's got to be.
It's gotta chafe horribly.
21. You gotta roll on that one.
I rolled 17 and got a 22.
Let me see what knowing what these would be. Actually, let me check the DC for just knowing, because I don't know off the top of my head.
Just naked with chains around her. I hate this.
That 21 might be enough. God, what type of... I love how, like, I've got to look it up separately. Okay. You don't know much about it, but she appears to be some kind of chitin.
Okay.
They are... like, in other editions, they would have been considered technically, like, devils, and some of them are still called chain devils, but they're their own subtype. They're a lawful evil outsider, though.
I was
But
thinking
they are not...
chain devil, so...
Yeah. Well, chain devil is just one of them, but they aren't actual devils. They are their own thing. Yep. So they're technically something a little bit separate from, they can be found in parts of hell, but they're not native to hell, like devils.
The hell you say?
I mean, there's a lot of evil outsiders, so... Anyway, yes, she seems to be kind of sitting there, very close to the man, I will tell you. Kind of like, basically like almost pulling the chair up next to him. Hello, everybody! Please sit down! Welcome!
Hello again.
Hello.
How is everybody? It's been a while since I saw all you, you know.
It's been an adventure.
How's artist friend?
He's doing quite well. Not quite regained that muse he once had, but we're working on it. We're getting him better. He really wants that back. He was a little sad at first, but he's going to get back to painting soon. I'm sure of it. The man next to her will kind of cough for a second. Without sense motive, you can tell that he does not really want to put up with her attitude at all. Like, her upbeat attitude is very obviously just feels grating on him. Yes, well...
What did you wish to speak about?
Myself and Lara are now representatives of the nation of Middle. We thank you for bringing justice to a... let me check this. 'Cause I can't remember what you did with.
We killed the evil thing.
Oh,
Plague Lady, I think.
yeah, the Plague Lady. Okay, the wanted criminal, and Steam.
Oh,
Because she was
fair.
wanted in it all. Based on my compatriot here's enthusiastic recommendations, I have a proposition for you.
Yes.
Lowry and myself can grant you support on the location that you're headed to. Scarwall. In return, we wish for the Church of Zon-Kuthon to claim the Crown of Fangs once it's all said and done.
Well, the dragon is like their mortal enemy, right?
Yes and no. The dragon is basically like, as far as you know from the story, like betrayal of Zon-Kuthon.
Right.
So it was a former servant of it that basically went against them.
I suppose it'd be only right that the ones I suppose it would be only just that the ones who this dragon betrayed would get possession of the crown.
Honestly, we should be a little honest. Betrayal is only a portion, perhaps some of it. We belong to a subset of the followers, the Brotherhood of Bones. We've seen you as better allies than enemies. And our goal is a little different than many others. There were those within the church that would see the dragon resurrected. We wish to see all its pieces sealed away. We do not believe the attempts the former heroes made to seal away such pieces were proper. They should be kept safe, somewhere where they can all be put away. Ensure that they're never used to resurrect this ancient being.
For the group,
I think we could all agree on that.
seems sufficient to me.
We haven't gotten any inkling of anyone else who wants to protect this thing, right? Like, the Shwanti didn't actually have a plan if we succeeded.
I mean, at most, you do have her... Yeah, no. He has confessed that probably others within his church would want to resurrect it, and they're like... They're subset, and they're like, you know... Things didn't go well with this guy, you know? No. Let's say no.
Yeah, well, I'm just asking, like, did the Shwanti have a concrete plan or not?
They just said nothing about it.
Okay.
Better than leaving it in the palace basement.
So, I believe your goal is the same as ours currently, to recover the great sword, Sartherian. Yes?
Yes.
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 And you should be aware that we know a thing or two about Scar. The undead there no longer serve Zon-Kuthon or anybody. They are on their own. But nonetheless, the curse over that land seems at least partially tied to our god. It means that my people can go and leave as we please, and not be affected the same way. But it also means the one thing that we cannot do is retrieve the sword. One must be pure of heart to touch the sword. He'll kind of give a wry smile at that one. So, we have knowledge we can share. I would suggest you organize a base of operations. there is some information we can further gather to assemble what we know of the current state of Scotland, to perhaps help you in your quest to recover the Suli. It won't take much time, and we can use our own means to meet you when approaching the citadel. If that would be alright.
I see no issue. Look at the rest of the party.
Acceptable to me.
Okay.
Laurie will kind of clap her hands. We get to work together again! Excellent! I so enjoy hanging out with you.
You're a very happy person, aren't you?
I am! So what do we say? We meet in the hold once you get there? Yeah? She's going to turn towards her ally, who will kind of a little bit roll his eyes and kind of sigh just a little bit and say, yes, it would be fortuitous for us to meet there. Whether you need for us to directly accompany you into Scotland, or just act as people that know information. Still, establishing a base of operations would be prudent. So, perhaps a bit of information that we do know that might help you before you arrive. There is a place before Scarwall. Scarwall sits in the middle of a crater lake. There is one landway, a bridge. The only orcs, mad or perhaps rotten, guard that bridge. Prevent any of their brethren from taking the madness and facing the curse. You could eliminate them. You can sense that he will have kind of a sigh under his breath, or if you feel necessary, you could attempt to negotiate use of their fortress. If you convince them, you'll remove the curse. Up to you. Personally, I would take the former. Much easier just to remove them. They are a violent lot. But I will leave that up to you. It would establish a place that would be fortified and easy. Orcs. A group of orcs who basically block the bridge to Scarwall. Scarwall's in the middle of a, basically, you'll be able to tell, it's in the middle of a giant dormant volcano on an island in the middle of it.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's
I'd prefer to try to negotiate because who knows, we might be able to get their help with something.
I don't know if we want orc help.
The orcs of the Hold of Belkazin tend to be pretty violent.
Yeah.
Not necessarily evil, but very chaotic culture that leans towards evil. So,
should we kill all of them? I don't know. That seems like a lot of effort.
yes. Basically, Galarian orcs are redeemable. It's just that their culture is one of basically survival of the fittest, the strong rule, violence. So that is a very chaotic neutral, leaning towards chaotic evil culture. It doesn't mean they're not, couldn't be any other alignment or anything else. It's just they come from a very violent place, especially in the Hold.
Yeah.
And there are some that are probably irredeemable. I would say, of the redeemable orcs, ones that are basically guarding a place from keeping their brethren from facing a horrible curse because they believe it's a, thing to not allow them in.
Punch a ghost or something.
Yeah. They're like, we can't punch a ghost. Let's just make sure no one can try to punch a ghost. It's a terrible idea.
I think we just negotiate with them and that fails.
Yeah, I mean, if it fails, then it fails, and
we should try.
Deal with them.
Yeah. But you know of them, so if you want to do something to, or figure out some way to attempt to,
Yeah, I think we
help
could try
with the
talking,
negotiations.
but
Yeah.
worst case things go awry and we murder. That's not the end of the world.
Agreed.
Excellent. We will go.
I
You've
still
been
wanted
sitting
to
here
ask
long enough.
Sierra if
Roll
there's...
me.
Sorry.
I would say you guys can roll me an Arcana check. Just please do that because you've been here sitting.
34.
All right. Because you've been kind of observing these three for a while, I will tell you. You will be able to tell something that there's something off about the Kython unit. It takes you a little bit, but you think you realize, she's an Eidolon.
Oh, neat. Interesting. I'll put that in my back pocket for later.
There are Eidolons that actually take the form of types of outsiders. So
I just wanted to ask her, how does she keep the chains from chafing?
they're part of her body.
Ah.
That's why they don't chafe. They're natural.
I just have natural chains.
All natural.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's Chainaline. Maybe she's born that way.
Alright. So, unless there's anything else you want to do in Magnemar or towards organizing rebellion, etc., like that, we could have you assemble with the Swanky people?
I'm gonna do something.
Okay.
So I need to talk to Van Carlo, so we need to rewind a couple seconds.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Van Carlo is still with Neolandis in between city to the.
Yeah, I can just teleport there by myself. It's fine.
Yeah. All right.
Unless some people want to go say hi to him.
He would currently be hanging around the horse farm and looking pretty it looks like he's been helping out a little bit, definitely, but he also looks like he's just not out of place, but also man, I don't have a lot to do here.
Superhero. I used to be Batman. Now I'm helping on a horse farm.
It's Batman when he's not allowed to be Batman, hanging out on a horse farm. It's like Bruce Wayne's just hanging out on a horse farm, just
Bruce Wayne would never.
Maybe he's trying to buy the farm.
Anyway, he's probably you'll kind of teleport in, and he'll kind of go, hello. As he's kind of sitting on the porch.
Hello.
Are you the only one here?
I don't know. Did people want to come with me? Did people want to go see Van Carlo?
I don't know
would
why.
ask.
I kind of just pictured you being like, hey, I'm going to go see Van Carlo. Anyone want to come? And you'd be like, what? And you'd be like, okay. And then you just teleport.
I'm neutral.
In case we want to go say hi, we do have people there we could go talk to.
I mean, I'll go with you I won't necessarily butt it on your conversation, but I'll go with you just so we don't split the party too much.
Sure.
What if you're attacked? I know that's I know that's not going to happen, but my character doesn't.
Okay. All right.
How are things going? Have you succeeded in your mission? Sent any updates or anything?
It's been a complicated time.
Ah.
I haven't had much time to send updates. I apologize. I'll briefly get them all up to speed on the fuckery we've done.
Well, seems like a lot's been happening. Is there anything I can help with?
Well, I don't know if you can help with what we're doing, but I need to talk to you about something important.
Well, he'll like kind of gesture to probably it's like a farm porch. He's probably got a couple of chairs there, like like kind of like gesture, like pull up a chair kind of a thing, unless there's somewhere better you think we can speak of this.
Yes, give me one moment. Ivona will pull out some items. I have to get what they are. Okay, Ivona will pull out a miniature ivory door, a piece of polished marble, and a silver spoon, and she'll be in casting Mage's Magnificent Manner.
Okay.
So we can have an actual private conversation. So I guess Khandes and Ada will get to experience this for the first time.
It's a magnificent manner that you're just an extra-dimensional manner.
Yep. It's a big, extra-dimensional, fancy-ass manner.
Yeah.
They'll gesture to a door that appears in front of me.
Ivona has rich person magic.
Yeah, I gesture to a door that will just appear in front of me.
We're gonna scratch his head and go inside.
Okay. I follow.
I will describe some things.
I will as well.
So you will see that there are a bunch of servants that are attending, but Ivona, being the wizard she is, has not left them as invisible servants. She has made them medium size of her favorite animal, the stoat. So the weasel is staffed by. So the manor is staffed by medium-sized weasels.
Weird.
Sir Fuzzy Whiskers, I require you to wash my clothes. Yes, madam. Anyway. I guess you'll find your way to the sitting room, drawing room.
It's like a more
fancy
private area, right? Mostly so no one. It's mostly so no one can scry on us to know where these. So I feel like they would have an easier time scrying on us than scrying on them.
Yeah.
A large stoat carrying a tray of small doves.
There you go. Oh, yeah, it can do more than that. Who knows what this thing can do? Has magic gone too far?
As it twitches its nose and whiskers. Anyway.
Thank you.
So, what did you need to speak about that needed to be so elaborate?
This is mostly so no one can scry on us to know where you are.
Reasonable.
But there's a matter a matter I've been meaning to discuss with you, but I've not had a chance. Is she'll think for a moment. Your secret identity of Blackjack.
Yes. Your cat was out of bags. Can't really say that I can deny that at this point in time, but what about it?
Why would you put cat in bag?
It's an expression.
Oh. Okay.
If you try to put a cat in a bag, it's going to fight to get its way out. So it's something that can very easily and loudly escape when it does.
It's also very hard to put back in. Therefore, it's means once it escapes, you can't really retract.
Exactly.
Got you.
Oh. It is. I want to apologize for anything under my breath you may have heard at the mention of Blackjack. I know it is quite obvious I'm perhaps not fond of that name.
I know, as someone who's taken up the mantle, the name is one that spurns emotions, good or bad, in Korvosa. So, I took no offense to it. So it's just the same as that.
My late husband idolized you, and I blamed you for his death because you were not there to save him. And you were supposed to be the hero of Old Korvosa. And I want to say that is unfair of me, and I'm sorry.
I still understand the feeling. Even when I was at my youngest in this line of work, it was always difficult to do everything that needed to be done. The city itself is large. Many people that could always use your assistance. And one of the reasons that I started hearing less. I would push myself just to save a few. I could. But then, when do I fail? When do I fail the fact that I can't save everyone? So, I started concentrating on the bigger picture. Larger things, bigger justices, or injustices. Like you saw. There's too much crime and too much suffering, and I can't handle it. Blackjack, whoever they are, it's just one person. So I may be the last. My attempts to train people that could replace me have gone terrible. A few people I've met that were under my tutelage that I saw promising. I screwed things up. Finally being able to rest out here has been a chance to think about mistakes I've made.
When this is all said and over, we've hopefully won and the city is saved and everyone is happy in the end. I think it's best if I assist Blackjack in the end. I think it is something my husband would have wanted me to do. He could have foreseen the power I would end up wielding.
Maybe there's a way to save more people that I don't know about. Perhaps getting some help that way will mean more. Once things return to some level of normal. I guess for now I will kind of look into the house a little bit, or kind of like clicking a look around and kind of thinking like he'd be glancing. The direction he's glancing, if you would leave the Magnificent Manor, would probably be towards the like farmhouse. I would kind of say like so like he's positioning himself from when he entered the place, Neolandis might be what we need to maintain some order after everything is said and done. Just getting rid of the Queen will just result in more chaos. Having him, we might be able to get something of order after.
I only hope. The city has suffered too much. There need not be more pointless deaths.
Question to you, something that's been on my mind, maybe can be on yours. Who replaces Aasimar?
You cut out slightly. Can you repeat that?
Sorry. Who replaces Iliosa, the Queen?
That is an excellent question.
Personally, I don't think any of us in this room are really suited for something like that. King or Queen.
I would not trust myself with that kind of power.
I'm just a man who grew up on the streets, became an adventurer, Eventually became a vigilante. I'm not much for myself. I assume both of you have your own lives to get to. I don't know, but we're gonna have to try to think of someone. The sooner that we have that turnaround, the better. Just keep that in mind.
It will be a decision that will need to be made sooner rather than later.
Well, he's gonna kind of like grab another one of those small like hors d'oeuvres the stoat butler is serving to everybody, and be like, "So, anything else, or should we head back outside?"
I think it is best that you get back to your farm.
As much as I'm not doing a lot, I'm still on duty. I'm keeping an eye out, just in case assassins or something show up. It looks as though, at least for now, the trail is cold. Thanks. From the sounds of it, well, the Queen of the Red Mantises probably have a much bigger target with you folks for now. That's good.
And thankfully, we're able to deal with their assassins.
He'll leave the mansion then and return to sitting on the porch, kind of keeping an eye out on things. And, yeah. Are you folks heading back to meet with everybody else then? Or, hang around for a while?
I'll check in and see how everyone's doing here, because I think we left the painter bard lady here. Or she moved on from here.
She went with you, but stayed with the Shuanti people.
Okay, I missed that detail. No, I don't think
Yes.
there's anyone here we need to check in on.
Yes, she had traveled with you to the Shuanti, but I think she stayed in the first place you visited with them. The Calamounts. When you arranged everything with them, she stayed there, basically. Because eventually we're gonna have to come back there anyway, kind of thing. That's what she figured. Alright. Well, you can help her back and meet with everybody else. Catch up with Zardris, Tavel, and I'm going to have to check your name right now because I'm not going to remember it right away. Ronnie. Eventually I'll remember it.
I would, since it took a bit to get to the materials because they have to be custom made, because I don't think I can just find a fucking ivory door. It's just in a shop somewhere. That'd be a hard one to find. It's very specific.
I'm going to tell you, it's a maybe just because it is a component of the Mansion.
But it's also a super high level spell.
Yeah, let me check Magmar's statistics just for a second. Magmar's statistics. It's a large city, and you have to get statistics over here. Cities with bats. I can really not spell very well.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna lie. What level spell is
it's a 7th level spell.
Okay. There is the maximum level spell casting in Nightmare is 7th level. So theoretically, because 7th level spells are the thing you can buy from people or pay for someone to cast, there could theoretically be the Finisher Door found, I would say. Basically, in a big enough city, looking at a couple of places that sell things like that, you can find it. I mean, honestly speaking, they're 5 gold a piece, so they're not very expensive, but it is a job.
Yeah, they're not very expensive. But I would basically, like, at some point invite the whole party in, so be like, hey, we don't have to stay at any inns anymore. I can just make a mansion.
Just make a mansion. Hey, everybody, I can just make a mansion. Yeah. It's okay.
I'll invite everyone in for dinner, and we can sleep here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this place is so nice. Thank you so much.
Do we want to take our break here?
I was going to suggest that in a minute. Sure.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I know that
We
it's
always
a
jump the
group-
gun for him.
You always jump the gun for me. I actually have cutoff times in my mind, and we were close to it.
True.
I was actually going to see if there was anything else you wanted to do with Magnemar and resolve Magnemar first, because then we could move into the Shawanti and meeting back up with them once we come back.
Yes, I mean, I did all my purchases. I put everything on my sheet now, so I'm
Do my
up to
purchases.
snuff.
Yeah, I just want to go over a few things of what I'm
I'll tell you,
looking for.
anything... Did anybody buy anything over about 13,000 gold pieces?
13,000. I bought one thing over that.
I think it just had to be rolled for.
Yes, you theoretically would have to roll for it in Magnemar.
Got a lot of stuff, but don't got everything.
Yes. It would be... I think it's a percentile check?
It's a percentile,
What is it?
yeah.
Actually, what is it? That's a good question.
I Amulet of Mighty Fists. I got upgraded. I got an upgraded one to Keen.
Oh, so
Keen
were you
plus
just
2.
replacing it with Keen, or were you paying to get an upgrade? Which would take time, though, I guess. Okay, so it was
I know technically it takes time, but I just kind of figure. I technically paid to upgrade it, but I could also just
We're just
technically
hand-waving it a little bit? That's fine. We can handle it.
Because,
I
like,
have
I don't
upgrades
know-
need to do, so
Because I just don't know how else we like. Literally, the only other way is to like lose tons of gold every time you upgrade by selling an item than just buying a new one.
yeah,
Yes.
you are
Which I
meant to
guess I
upgrade.
could do.
That is something that is meant to kind of be done, or just to, like, actually, like...
I
Yeah,
could
but
do that.
basically, like, we
Yeah.
have a soft time limit. We have you don't have to worry about food because
How
the
long?
matter is
How
stacked
long
with
does
food.
that? How long would that take to upgrade? It's 20,000.
20 days.
Oh, it's not
Sounds
the end of the
good.
world.
And the thing is,
Yeah.
you could have theoretically commissioned it earlier if you wanted to. We could
Because
say.
we could back to bad
Yep.
where it literally
Especially
had
since
to
it was
go.
actually we could have because it was also the one I wasn't using currently.
Yes. So you could have done that, let's say, like, earlier when you were at, like, resting for a few days in, I have to remember the name of that place, too.
Because everything else I paid to upgrade was like only like a 5,000, which would just be like a week.
Flame4. When you were staying in Flame4 for a few days before you went off on a lot of adventures, you could have paid for that, and you could just have it. You can have it right now.
Cool. Okay.
so-
Well, yeah.
Let's take
Alright.
our break, though, and we can figure out if there's anything else on that when we get back. So let me say, if you need a snack, drink, a bathroom break, go ahead and take them, and we'll be back in a little bit. Also, let me get rid of this dude image here before I do that first. Okay, Patrick, back in a minute.
Yeah.
So,
You can't even smite people. You're a cleric. You're not a paladin.
welcome back.
He takes a level of paladin.
Just for smiting.
Oh, it'd be so inefficient.
Just for smiting.
Smite good isn't even like the smite evil isn't even that good.
I can smite with feet chains.
So yeah, welcome back, everybody. I don't know, what was I going to say? Yes, you were heading to the Shawanti people. That's where
Yeah, we gotta
Yes.
get our new cleric friend some kind of blessing so they don't die.
I mean, you are going to a place that's horribly cursed with, like, undeath and negative energy and, a lot of badness, but,
Oh yeah, that's not going to be good for me.
The Midwest, or the mom of the party not die immediately.
Anyway,
Okay.
so you can head to, return to Flameford, once again.
Yep.
Where you will be greeted by in the Sun Shaman's Temple, by a trifecta of 3 important individuals that seem to be there. Not only is it Sun Shaman, but also you will find there, I have to remember all the names of people. Thousand Bones and,
I
where's
wanna
your
say-
name?
Akram.
Akram. Yes, thank you. So all three of them are there now. And, Trina is arrived with 1,000 votes, along with like a contingent of... So it looks like there's a contingent of all three tribes of the Cinderlands are here together to meet up.
Indeed.
Greetings to you all. Were you successful in assisting Korvosa in their actions?
Yes.
Agro Bias, we have been arranging to assist your fellows in this rebellion you are planning. Our people help them. May be a good way for us to remove old tensions in many ways. Ancient angers can be not removed overnight. Perhaps this will go a long way.
Agreed.
Yes, but removing an oppressor from your land definitely will hopefully pique people in the more positive end of their psyche. I don't know where I was going with that sentence out of character. I just totally was just like, I strung together words very weirdly.
We do bring a new friend with us.
Greetings.
Hi.
I am Thousand. We three are the elders of the Shawanti people.
They wish to venture with us into Scarwall. So they should need protection.
It will take at least a day or two, but I can arrange for the same lesson on Akram will then kind of speak up. I will at least accompany you with a contingent of all three of our tribes for part of the journey. We will not venture deep into the hold. It would be too dangerous for us. We will make a camp at its border. We will place that if you need to fall back somewhere, we can arrange for supplies and some safety.
The other lady was also going to make a camp outside the border, right? Or just...
She was going to make a camp, she's like, hey, you should make a base camp. We could either stay there or go with you. Actually, that's what they said. You should make a base camp, basically, to attack the castle right outside it, regardless of, what you do. Their suggestion was, replace and or convince the orcs to allow you to use their place.
Mm-hmm. I was just wondering if they were going to arrive, because I feel like if they are, we should tell the Shawanti.
They're meeting you in the hold. Okay. So that's separate from them. This group is accompanying you to the border, and then basically make a camp at a border. And then once you reach inside the hold, the others will theoretically meet you.
Okay, well I will say we have talked with a faction within the we've talked with a faction in the... What's the god's name? The god that chain that worships. Zon-Cathon, thank you. Sorry, I was just totally blanking. We met with a lady who is in a faction of Zon-Cathon.
The look on the Sun Shaman's face will kind of change. You kind of like a contemplative thought as you mentioned that. Interesting.
They claim that there are some factions that would try and use the crown. They have mentioned that they would be their faction within the Church of Zon-Cathon would like to hide it away. And we were wondering if you had any plans similar, or if perhaps working with them would be a better option.
Thousand of us, truth be told, we have discussed what to do. and had not come to a great agreement. The items themselves are cursed. They would need to be either hidden away somewhere, or moved to another land yet again, both of which would be very difficult. This option exists, but I do not know if it's the most practical. Your judgment in this case, since you are aware if they are trustworthy or not, I will say.
They seem trustworthy. They have helped us before with only minor requirements. So, they have... But, so I suspect they are trustworthy, and they seem to speak truth. Actually, I just thought of something we could have done, but oh well. Because we literally just got truth candles. Yeah. But oh well. We will approach it as necessary, but we still have a lot to do before we get to that point, so...
When the time comes, then decide.
Yes.
Do you know of anything about the orcs that reside outside?
Some shamans speak up, perhaps. A little bit. You see, we were, as they say, comparing notes. In addition, we sent for some information that we would not have. References, if you will, to old tales and histories in the region from our allies that you have helped us make within Korvosa. The past few days we've been studying this to see if we could learn more about this entire thing. And we think we understand the story a little bit more, if you would be interested.
More information, the better, I say.
What we could tell. Unfortunately, this entire thing dates back to the Whispering Tyrant, as many things do. That powerful undead. Once his hold was wrested from Ustamov, the threat of the hold still existed for him. It seems that a man who lived upon the border state, a man by the name of Count Andachi, was the one that brought Aasimar to our region. From what the stories tell, his family were once servants of Zon Kuthon, and so Zon Kuthon sent a powerful mercenary general to his aid, Aasimar. Book on Ustalavian history, Old, tells the tale of how this great general drove back the orcs into the hold. But that is where things change. That is where the history as we now know comes back. And the butcher, monster as Aasimar is formed. He did not leave the hold. He constructed his forces, Castle Scarwall. At first it seemed like he'd just be vigilant over the area, but then it became clear. He was a monster. Diplomats sent to him to negotiate with his control over the region were flayed alive. Their skins animated into sort of horrible coat of arms and sent back to where they came. Aasimar was a true tyrant. We know not the true end of Count Adachi, but we do know that he fell when he attempted to stop his former general. It was then that his horrible things were done. The torment, the hunting of, and horrible acts he did to both people of Ustalar, our people, and even to the orcs of the Hold. He was a monster to one and all. There were the stories we tell only paint part of this picture. But some of the... As Thousand Bones is going to put his hand on like one of the, this pile of books, yes. As kind of looking at the Sunshine. Sunshine will shake his head. The stories in these books. Grisly. Monsters. Far beyond what we thought. The word monster means little to such a creature as callous as he was. It seems as though a man named the man Zardris, the great hero we knew, powerful warrior, was brought together by some force within Ustalar, gathered together the great people, some of our brethren, as we said, to fight against it. But the story is not as cut and dry as Manavarius fighting his way into Scarwall and slaying the beast. There was apparently a betrayal. The chamberlain of the great general gave information to Manavarius and his forces, and allowed them to get into the castle. We do not know what happened to this chamberlain, but from the books it seems that though he was found out, and was slaughtered, or perhaps died before he could escape. There is no evidence that he managed to leave. But Kazamon was driven back to the heart of his fortress. And that's when they discovered that he was indeed the dragon he was, and slain by the sword. That is when the story, as I've said before, came in. His hearts were scattered. And each of the heroes that accompanied him went to the wind, leaving Mandraris and the forces he had to control Scarwall. Our tales merely tell of the curse that came about afterwards. It seems as though it's a much darker tale than even that, in a way. The land was not instantaneously cursed. Yes, much death had happened, many horrible things. But Mandraris was a great warrior of holy light. Purifying such things could perhaps be in his abilities. No, what had happened was the orcs came in force. They had feared the castle. They feared Kazavon. And with the armies of Kazavon gone, and merely Mandraris and his soldiers, not the heroes which once helped him fight Kazavon, but the men who distracted the army. As far as we can tell, they were slaughtered to the last. And it was this final slaughter that allowed whatever curse that is there now to come into effect. It is a nicer tale than we had told. We had feared Mandraris had fallen to the darkness. Instead, he was just slaughtered. And then we get to the point where we solve our tale of sealing the cursed land to try to prevent it from escaping. The seal we put in place. at very least, Kazavon must not be allowed to return to this world. It can be seen in his actions why perhaps he was favored in a way by Zon Kuthon at first. But even the tales of torment that we have heard here in the old books are perhaps far worse than anything that God would deem righteous in their own eyes, or opinion. Take that with what you will. Andark will speak up. When you are ready to depart, we will go with you. I will travel. Once we've taken the camp, I will travel with you to Scarwall to ensure you can pass into the back with our friend. Once that is complete, we will return to the campsite. She should be able to protect you enough. And your friend has volunteered to accompany us. The one that was staying with I'm forgetting Thousand Bones tribe.
The Skull Clan?
Skull Clan, thank you. I was trying to think of their act, like what it was called. The Skull Clan. I would just go for Skull Clan. It's the easy one to remember. The one was staying with the Skull Clan.
I did far too much research for my character backstory, so I remember a lot.
You remember enough. It's good for me because I did a crap ton of stuff.
Yeah. I
Especially because
remember.
we don't use it for a few weeks, it like leaves my brain.
Yep.
Alright, so, is there anything else you want to do here with them, or are you ready to depart on your amazing adventures to Scarwall? The nice, outsider lady and Andark and, Akram and, Trinia will accompany you, but then they will head back where they came, basically, to the, thing after they've gotten you able to pass the barrier very easily.
Wait, Trinia?
Yeah, she's here. She's doing stuff.
Yeah.
She stayed with the Skull Clan once you were originally accompanied. She came with you to the cigarettes.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, so
I realize everyone did because I mentioned she stayed with them once you kind of switched gears a little bit, but we got distracted by everything with the switching gears, so she kind of was left behind back with the Skull Clan. Very much so, you know? Because of that.
Yep. No, I was just like, man, I forgot she came along. I wish she stayed back on the horse ranch.
Nah, she wanted to come along with you. And just did,
Like, I vaguely remember that now that you mention it, but I just completely forgot.
So, I will tell you, because you're a relatively new character, Ronnie, we're not going to go into depths about it right now unless you really want to give a kind of summary of what's going on. But basically, the entire spiritual journey it would be is... Actually, I could think of probably what you want to do. Is they are allowing you to peer into the afterlife to basically talk to someone, whether it's someone like directly a relative, a friend, or something, and that connection with the afterlife will help protect you from the horrible curse of undeath that is upon the castle of Scarwall. But you have a chance to communicate with someone. Would it be Ronnie's deceased husband?
Oh, absolutely. It'd be my Eustace. I would reach out to him. Like, oh boy.
It would
Get
be...
into some stuff now.
You'd be getting into some stuff now. Eustace, I miss you! Oh,
I just...
Oh, Rana, baby!
Some people who are going to do that kind of stuff you used to do.
I wasn't much for the adventure, but once Marv left home, there wasn't much for me to do. The nest was real empty, and I just needed to be out there. And after all the years at the church, I had to come out and just make a name for myself. So I'm just hoping you'll cover me while I'm dealing with all these undead here.
Oh, definitely. It's I miss you, but when your time's right, I know you'll come to my side and we'll enjoy eternity together.
Oh boy, is that going to be a good day? Until then, you look after our Marv.
I'll look after him real good. What is this voice I'm giving to him?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
happening?
It doesn't matter. This is not important. What's important is our love. All right. There's a beautiful moment between us being partners.
It's happening.
It's really hard to have these emotional things with a character that's just.
I just fucking came in with.
That's why I'm like, I don't know if I could do this really well emotionally with just having a character it is today. But it is a good thing to do.
I'm fine with this being a little comical. At least I've already come to terms with his death, so it's nice to see him mostly.
Yeah, Ivona, whose husband was murdered like 3 months ago.
Yeah. I've gotten over it. You move on.
Gotta eventually move on.
All the dead husbands.
Yeah, this is the dead spouse party, apparently.
I have a dead brother.
Ivona and this new lady off in the corner being sad.
The trick is you gotta switch gods between husbands so they go to different afterlives.
It's like, look, I may have switched deities, so maybe we'll see each other. Look, I love you still, but I'm gonna be over here. You're over there. We can come visit on the weekends in the afterlife. I'm like, look,
I mean, would you still be married at that point? Because it's death to your part in our world. But in their world, there's an afterlife. But if you go to different afterlives,
I think we still call it death. I think that's a good run, and then we just in the afterlife we redo things.
When you die, you actually have to go for Abadar for a divorce proceeding.
That's hilarious.
Avatar's like, what the fuck are you guys doing to me? Look, I'm busy with
job now, actually.
I just, what? Why am I involved in this? Shouldn't you have taken care of this in life? Anyway, anybody have anything else they're doing before you head on through to Scarwall and such?
Didn't Ivona want to try and contact her husband?
Yeah, Ivona's gonna go back up that mountain to try and contact her husband, because that seemed to be the place where it first happened.
Yeah.
She's not wholly convinced she's not just insane.
Yeah. So you're gonna go up onto the
If you are, we have a heal scroll.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, last time you were there, you were out in the hot, sweating, just like enjoying the midday sun.
Ivona's definitely built for heat.
Enjoying the midday sun. So you'll kind of go up there, kind of probably sit down, kind of wait, as it's blistering, it's hot, it's, dry, it's awful out, it's up on a kind of like scrubland area, arid area of the Cinderlands, and you're just up on this kind of plateau, / mesa, kind of just sitting there, just kind of like contemplating, seeing him again. And, a couple hours will go by, and it will be a lot of time with you and your own thought. Certainly, the place here is still lively. There's some small lizards around, bugs, stuff like that. You occasionally see a bird kind of go over above as you kind of like are sitting there in the heat. But eventually you'll kind of maybe doze off for just a second. Or so you think. And as you kind of like awaken, it's now night. With a full moon now.
I'll look at the moon.
Why are you doing this?
Because I need to see you.
It's a different voice, I'll tell you.
Oh, who is it?
You don't know, you've never heard this before.
I need to see him again.
You could very easily die.
Ivona will just kind of shrug. At least I get to see him again at that point. But you're right, it was stupid.
Dangerous. Do you think he'd want you?
No, I don't.
Don't you have the power, though, at this point? You could choose to just go to the bone.
I don't know if my companions would agree to such a journey. We're unfortunately busy.
If you are so busy, then why are you here?
I will turn around and look at this person.
There is kind of sitting on a rock nearby to the kind of area that you climb up to the top here is a woman with kind of palish skin and white hair sitting there. Just kind of like looking at the stars and then kind of like speaking, and kind of like glancing down to her as she speaks.
Okay, maybe we're not so busy that I can't take a little detour to try and talk to the only person who brought me joy in my life.
That's an interesting thing for you to say. Don't you have joy by those that are now on your side?
Well, to a degree, I suppose.
Found family, as many would call it.
It's complicated. I trust them, but I don't know if they wholly agree with my methods. I've lashed out a lot towards those who oppose us, and I feel it's caused a divide.
Anger is not an emotion you can judge for, necessarily. And your actions seem to be in a direction that, at very least I could say, fits within your own morality, yes?
I will kind of go back to looking at the moon and sigh. Would I even be welcome in the boneyard? I'm kind of a monstrosity. Something between life and death.
There is much that exists between that place. The existence of life and death is black and white. You should be aware that the world is gray. And so, there is gray. It's not to say that there are things that are anathema to these changes. Certainly, things that speak the cycles that we all go through. But yours is an existence like any others. Actions speak loud. And your father has been making many actions that reflect very differently than many of his own kind. Perhaps not the most righteous or honorable, but very different from his own kind. And certainly speaking, you aren't that, are you?
How do you know that? Who are you?
No one truly important. Just someone that happened to be watching when you were sitting and decided to strike up a conversation. Perhaps happenstance. Conversation that happens once in a lifetime. Sit and watch the stars and ponder life, death, and everything in between.
How would I get to the boneyard if I choose to go?
Do not wish to go there for traditional. I believe your people have magics that would use to be able to travel. It is not unheard of to travel there, but it would take someone such as yourself, who you worship, to even possibly enter successfully. Does that mean you'll be welcomed? Maybe, maybe not. It does mean you can have a chance. I do not think the lady would be for you. But there will be someone who, if you request it, could allow you to speak a little bit more open. That's truly what you say. But happenstance can only happen so many times. Asking for another to use their power to assist you can only happen so many times. If you go this time, you will have to pay a price. You have to be ready.
I understand.
I hope you do. Well, I hope you make a good choice.
I don't kind of remain silent, just keep looking at the moon.
Maybe we will meet again. If the possibility allows for it.
I think I'd like that. If it would be possible.
When we head to the pool, you must first seek Atropos. She is the only one that truly can grant you passage. After that, maybe we meet again.
Okay. Thank you. Whoever you are.
Just a watcher of fates who happened to be peering down at someone a little bit lost. As you will then kind of snap out of things, and it will be night, and it will not be a full moon as it technically wasn't. It shouldn't have been. It's like a half moon, you know? As you're kind of lying in like a... Probably feeling awful because you've been sitting out in the heat and stuff, so you're like thirsty, sweaty, but it's now the cool night of the air, you know, is around you.
Ivona, the ever lazy wizard just teleports back to the tent and collapses on the ground.
Mm-hmm. You would recognize the name of Atropos. She is one of the only known daughters of Aasimar. She is the youngest daughter of Aasimar, and is said to be the one that holds control over the courts and portals of the Boneyard. Hence why, if you want to get into the Boneyard, you technically have to get her permission.
Yeah. Yeah, Ivona just definitely instead of walking back, just teleport to the place she's staying and just collapses onto the ground.
So everybody wake up in the morning to like an Ivona, like probably like just like face front down into like the one of the beds there.
There's probably some kind of noodle fox there as well.
Mm-hmm. No one can forget Noodle Fox, the best fox.
The pipe fox.
Mm-hmm. Alright, as you recover and prepare for the next day, is anybody doing anything else, or are you ready to head out to Scarwall? Or to Scarwall, and hold a belt to
I have nothing else I need to do, other than, like, what spells would you guys want me to prep? Obviously, probably not a lot of necromancy spells might not help in this place, but it might be better. I don't know. It might do weird shit to my magic.
Yeah. I mean, at some point you're trying to maybe try to get Zardris to plane shift you because it's easier for Zardris.
It is easier for a cleric to plane shift me. You have to also get a tuning fork. It's just like, that's gonna be hard to get.
Because
I mean, too bad we don't have a bard. They could just be assumed to have one.
Well, I mean, it's a special one for plane shift.
Level. Oh, yeah. I mean, I could technically scribe plane shift now if I can get the scroll of it.
Anyway. Good old if then we can have you depart on your journey to Scotland. So the journey to the borders of Holdabaldizin is not a difficult one with your kind of small battle party. certainly, you are being accompanied by a group of people that will include Akram. Where do I have her name on my notes? Anybody can tell me the Celestial lady's name if I'm not looking up quickly.
Celestial lady? Oh, wait, that person. I think I know who you're talking about. Hold on, let me find her name.
Yeah, let me find my notes. Oh, there it is. Pandondu.
Yeah, I literally just found it. Yeah. Pandondu.
Yeah.
Pandondu.
Yep, and of course, Trina's there, and leading the one that's going to actually establish the campsite is Krojik. He'll kind of give Khandes a pat on the shoulder and be like, "I will look after the campsite for you to ensure that if some trouble comes, someone will be able to help you out. But you seem like you probably won't have trouble. But in case, you know where to turn."
Indeed.
Just oozing
Thank
confidence, you know. and arrogance. Just for you guys.
Well, now that you're here, I know that our camp will be safe.
Of course. You will eventually, though, make camp with them at a small and difficult pass through the mountains that separate out the Hold of Alcazin from the Cinderlands, which I can get a map of Varisia and the map of Varisia and name the mountains properly. Or I pretend to. Let's see if I can find these maps. That is the... It's off on my map here. Damn it. The map is... The one I chose was not big enough. Alright, well, you know. The Mindspin Mountains, I think it is. Yeah, I believe it's the Mindspin. So it'll be passed through. There we go. Found it. Probably. Maybe. So this will be a little farther south of the main plains. As well, like, it's a physically more difficult journey to Hold of Belkazin, but it's a safer journey to Hold of Belkazin because you'll be passing through the mountains rather than walking across massive amount of plains that are patrolled by, you know, like orc warbands and stuff like that. You know, go to the area where people tend not to go because you're going through a difficult mountain pass that, you know, is perilous. That usual kind of thing.
Can we just skip through the Mines of Mori instead?
No.
No, because then you shall not pass.
I mean, that's technically where that happens, I guess.
I had to make that, and it was a bad joke, and I picked.
They called it a mine.
Of Moria! Right, but your much smaller party will move into the mine spans and travel through the mountains. Your 13th level, I'm not going to have you roll anything to travel through the mountains. I gotta be honest, that's like...
But anything approaches us, they die. I'm just going to put that out there.
It's also like...
They're not going to live.
Second level problems of, like, navigating a difficult mountain pass.
How about you roll on the table just to know what we kill?
We have spells to get around this stuff.
I don't know if I have a, like, wild encounter for the Mindspin Mountains things. I've got Cinderlands and Hinderlands. I don't know if I got the Mindspin.
I was just...
There actually might be a chart for the Mindspin Mountains. I don't know. Check. I'm not gonna lie. In the Cinderlands, theoretically, you can fight an adult red dragon. Just random.
There's one that exists. Flies around sometimes. He's a menace.
Trolls, hill giants.
Is that the one that like is like deaf or something and doesn't even speak or something like that?
That's actually worse. There's just normal adult red dragons. That one's older, which is more highly
The old guy is, I think he's a black dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the deaf one.
But there's great things like cockatrices, bullets, more orcs, mastodons, hill giants, trolls, attaches, ash giants, all kinds of those kind of things up in the mountains.
Wait,
That's
what was the last one?
I assume ash,
Ash.
but I heard ass.
Yeah, I
It
heard
is ash giants.
giants.
It is ash giants, even though it sounds a little like ash giants. And whatever Warsworn is apparently the top CR thing in the whole of Velkasin, so I assume it's in the mountains there. Probably awful. But not rolling, so you're not getting like random CR 16 encounters, because you don't need them anyway. We're not doing experience, I don't have to worry about those things, but I don't know, maybe you encounter some mastodons along the way and maybe kill them or not, I don't know, they're mastodons. They're just up in the mountains passes or something, in the mountain valley or something, as you're passing through. Or,
Okay.
there's also
Can we just teleport?
You don't know where you're going.
Okay.
You need much more powerful teleports to teleport to somewhere you've never been.
Physically, I could have taken it, but I didn't.
Also, none of your guides know the exact location of Scarwall. They know its general area, because none of them have been there.
Got it.
Yeah. I think the only one that's been there is your celestial friend, who is probably really bad at describing where it is. I'm not gonna lie. Pandondu is probably really terrible at telling you anything.
Mm-hmm. So, who's everyone that's going with us? Do you have like a list?
I do. It's a very short list. It is you 6, assuming that you have the Tavel.
Yeah, we're dragging Tavel along.
And then just 3 others into the hold. Just Pandonduo, Arakram, and Trina. Because those 3 will then head back afterwards, after they manage to get you aligned to the barrier, as Pandonduo says.
Okay.
And as the Zon-Kuthon people said, they assume that part of the curse that's there involves, their god's power, because he had power over that land. That's why they can pass through that much trouble.
Yep.
But nothing there is friendly to them, so... And they can't pick up the horrible... the sword of ultimate goodness that's there also, so... they're not very useful.
Yep. Okay.
Half useful. They know it's there. Eventually you will pass through the Mindspin Mountains into the hold itself. And, the hold is as much as the Cinderlands are a dangerous, place, certainly speaking, the hold itself is pretty rough, too. It is terrain that is even less friendly than where you've been before. And just basically it's pretty awful. So it's this really terrible place that no one really wants to live. That's where they shoved all the orcs. Which also is another reason that they're very angry a lot all the time. It's on the list. Culturally, and also they're not in a nice place.
It's number 4 or 5.
I mean... you can probably find some relatively friendly orcs if you go to the capital, Urgir. They're nicer there. Anyway, the journey to Scarwall is still fairly difficult because you still, as much as you've gotten beyond the borderlands, which would have been more patrol, you are still deep within the hold itself, and you do have to pass through some of the rough terrain to get to Scarwall. Scarwall is kind of at the center of the hold, and passing through the mountains made it easier to avoid a lot of the various warrior patrols and war bands, but it doesn't mean it made it easier to travel in general. But after I'd say this is like at very least a week's journey on foot. You've traveled well over maybe at least like 200 miles, I'd say. Probably a little bit more than that since you began. So, a pretty sizable chunk of time. And I have to remember how much you can travel to make it. I mean, again, you create food and water, and you've got, like, magical house that you can sleep in. So
the house has enough food for, like, 12 people per caster level.
That's why I'm not, like, having any kind of trouble with this entire thing.
It's also invisible, and I don't think an orc or some wildlife has the invisibility or true seeing.
The answer is probably not no.
I think it's like 24 miles a day.
Yes.
Oh,
but
wow, I got that right.
It's like 24 miles a day. So this is about, 24, about 7 days of journey. Unfortunately, it was a path that you couldn't, and that's 27 days in, after you've passed over the mountains, basically. Or gotten into the hold, I should say, from where your base camp was. Because you're going basically from the southern hold of Belkazin to kind of the center. You have a general idea where Scarwall is. You know it's a certain kind of mountain range in the central area, but you don't know exactly where it is. But as you're approaching it, though, you will be and getting to a mountain pass that leads up into the mountains, leading to the region of Scarwall. You will see 2 people, well, practically 3 people, waiting for you, kind of at the base of the pass. And one of them will be waving their hands up in the air, with a large smile on her face.
I wonder who.
Who are your friends? They seem nice too.
The weirdest BDSM cleric.
I mean, at least, this is what you want in a dom, alright? Someone with a positive attitude.
Hello, Loris.
How's it going? I was
Wait,
waiting
so
here.
she met us at the...
This is like the mountain range that you have to head into. Like, you've passed through the lowlands of the hold that you had to pass through. Because the Mindspin Mountains only cross through one region of it, and there is like a large, basically open plains area in the hold. It's just the fact is, like, if you had crossed over in between the area that goes from the Cinderlands to the hold, is a very well patrolled area, basically. So you kind of went around that, got into like the lowlands around that area. So you're in an area much less patrolled. You don't have to worry about a lot of like orc warbands because if there are traveling orcs, they're probably going in between various settlements. Most of the ones that are going to go do stuff revolving around attacking the Shalanti are over that way to the west, they're doing that. This is like outside that region. See, Xiao, I knew they were going to be here in a timely manner. What did I say? The older gentleman kind of like rolled his eyes a little bit, but he kind of shake his head. See, there are a few others with me. Are they aware of our dealings?
We have caught them up to date.
Good. Make it easy. Then we can inform you what we know of before you head to start. Before we all do. Are any of you aware what a chained spirit is?
Do I know what that is?
Sounds like a spirit that has been
chained. Take. 32, there you go.
Okay. So, Ivona. This is something you have heard of, but it's very rare as far as you can tell. And very powerful, too. They're specifically powerful undead that are normally bound to a region. And once they are bound there, they basically anchor themselves to the region by empowering parts of their essence into other beings that are there. This connection allows them to borrow some of that being's power on their own to empower them, and makes them nigh unkillable.
Oh, awesome.
So, as long as they have their anchors, which they have with your check, I will say, you know that the most that anyone could ever have is 4 anchors.
Okay.
Losing anchors will weaken them, but a well-established chained spirit would probably have 4. If you were to face one in its most empowered form, it probably would be suicide. From your knowledge, even with the amount of team you have, it could maybe be possible, but be very, very difficult. It is said that a fully empowered chained spirit can basically ignore the energies of the most holy of clerics and shake it off as if it's just a breeze. So, effectively having not like a weakness in its most powerful form. The more anchors it loses, the weaker it becomes. If it has no anchors, it will be open. With that check also, it would probably take time, a lot of time, to make new anchors. So, this is something that if you get rid of the anchors, you don't have to worry it getting any back, basically, in a short amount of time. It can't do that kind of thing. There you go.
Alright, I will explain this to my companions.
Seems that you at least know it. It's excellent. Well, from what we can tell, the spirit that is in charge of Scarwall is such a being. The chained spirit that leads over all the spirits.
So, what are its anchors? Are they objects, creatures, places?
From Ivona's knowledge, you could basically say, effectively, most of the time they use other undead, but it can be, theoretically, it could be any powerful evil creature that is open to being bound to it. So, things like, if there's some long-lived evil creature that's living there, it could be there. An outsider of some kind, that was there, could be bound to it, that kind of stuff, But, yeah, probably undead are the most likely, because the place has a lot of undead. But that might not be the only thing that's there, so... But to be a spirit anchor, it has to generally be a pretty powerful creature in the first place, so assume any of the remaining rulership of the castle that has risen from the dead might be what you would have to eliminate. As far as we can tell, the spirit anchor is also the chain spirit seems to have used itself to create some form of protective barrier on wherever the sword is being bound, amplifying the curse through itself. Should we be able to eliminate the spirit, either the curse would be lifted or at very least weakened in such a way that perhaps, looking to Zardris, the man will do, a powerful clergy could use their abilities to remove it in its weakened state, if the curse is not lifted.
Understood.
Thumbs up.
There still may
Sounds
be
like we have a
guardians
plan.
there still may be creatures that guard the sword. As far as we can tell, it is hidden in some deep chamber within the castle itself. Whether this was done on purpose by the spirit, or merely the spirit is preventing anything from entering that area, I do not know. So even after you have banished it, and cleared the curse, there still might be a fight. I can't say for sure on that. But there are some beings that we may know about. Members of Hazavon's troops, which may still exist there. We can inform you if you are interested. Whether or not they remain, well, some we are aware of, others we are not. And amongst those that we are aware of, we cannot tell which are its anchors. At most I can tell you, we are aware that the long walk into Scarwall is guarded by the first of the warriors of Castle. If you so wish to take that route, you will at least have to deal with that. Though there is much dangers in both water and sky, that it might be more prudent to take that direction. Things patrol the air, and there are creatures in the water of the lake. Many of them. Anyway, when we get there, perhaps we can inform you of more. Shall we go? I guess we'll lead the way. Goody! I saw a map that we had, and I know the exact route, and I can lead you this way. How's that sound?
Sense motive. How good is her sense of direction?
Sure, roll it.
Okay.
She's
How's
incredibly confident at her ability to navigate you there. Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's like... Hold on, you know? Guys, I think she's really good at navigating. Do it.
Oh, sense motive.
Oh, why are we sitting around discussing this? She has the map.
Uh-huh. She said she saw a map.
Yeah, she's got a mental map. She's good.
1, 2, 1.
Famous having a map.
Yeah, she looked at the map one time.
Look, she looked at the map before she came here, basically...
Yeah, she's like good to go.
Yeah, she's like, before they left, I checked out a map. I totally know where I'm going. I'll lead the way.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna keep that in the background. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
I could roll geography if you want me to.
It might help.
Sure, I'll try to help her navigate.
Sure.
There you go. 16. That's technically above helping.
Yeah.
I also technically got a 10, which is helping.
Mm-hmm. You are helping. You're like, yeah. We'll assist you on this one. Anyway, so yeah. And I think that's a great place to leave it out there. Random history. Probably not on this one. Probably not. That's a good choice.
Wait, you know
how
that the hold belongs to the orcs.
I mean,
How about nature?
I mean, nature at least might help a little bit, since you know that it is in a volcanic caldera that has turned into a lake. As as much as the geography helps. You know, you're all assisting her with suggestions as she's wandering through the mountains, and I'm just gonna roll this d20 and see what she rolls.
Planes.
I don't think planes will
I'm
help.
just gonna hit this button here.
We might be in.
She's gonna roll a 3.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
Don't worry about it. This is fine.
If we get a little bit lost,
later,
it's okay.
we find ourselves back where we started.
It's not that bad. She doesn't have any skill that really helps with this, so it's just this is a wisdom check for her to navigate, so...
Well, at least she probably has some wisdom.
Yes!
She got above a 10.
She is a... Well, okay,
she
is
did
a
get
cleric.
above a 10 with your help.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll take a while, but you'll get there. Probably, like, an extra day, we'll say. It took you 2 days to get there.
It's very
There's
much like this. It's like, I think we're going the wrong way. No, this is a shortcut. I think we're going the wrong way.
It's like,
This
wait.
is a long cut.
Oh, that's right. We have to go this way around here. Thank you. I was almost going the wrong way. We have to turn here.
No, she took the scenic route.
Well, actually, I'll roll for her second day of journey. Let's see if she rolls any better. Okay, so yeah, she rolled pretty well the second day. So we'll say, like, yeah, she managed, like,
1 day.
you lose a day and, like, kind of wandering around a little bit, you know, and, like, getting a little confused. And then the second day, she really gets you there, like, and takes you... It's the scenic route. She gives scenic route.
She claims she was avoiding orc patrols, but we all know better.
Honestly speaking, if she says it, she probably believes that she was doing that. She's like...
Oh, I know. She's one of those kind of people.
Yeah, she's like totally confident in her abilities. But no. We will have you arrive at Scarwall and figure out what you're doing with at the Barbican only next week. As the Barbican is occupied by a group of orcs known as the Death Watcher tribe. They're kind of on the nose, you know? I mean, they are just at the border to this place and be like, no one's allowed to enter. Because we say so. Because it's bad. Because orcs went there, and then all died because of horrible things that happened.
You shall not pass.
Well, again, when they slaughtered everybody, it basically triggered the curse, and, you know, they all got pretty much driven out and slaughtered. You know, hey, we killed off the paladin that might have been holding back all the evil in this place.
I'm trying to purify it.
Idiots.
Oops!
Yeah, we killed the paladin who was trying to purify it for petty revenge, and now we're all screwed.
Petty revenge, not against the paladin, but against the people that built the place. Yep. It wasn't even the right revenge.
Right.
Revenge against the building itself.
Revenge is a dish best served with stupidity.
I mean, kind of in this case. So let me give some shout-outs as we end it for today, and we will pick up with entering into Scarwall next week. As the fortification itself looms before you, the mighty castle that I will give a good descriptive of, as you will see it rising out of the center of the lake, certainly way before you enter it. The good old caldera lake of an ancient volcano. It's just such an evil villain place to put a lair. I'm not lying. It's a caldera lake in an ancient volcano with like an evil tower in the middle of it.
You know what? It could be more evil. It could be an active volcano.
True.
It's a Bond villain's lair. God.
With a lake of lava instead of water.
True.
And lava sharks that shoot lava out of their head.
I mean, technically the lake is filled with horrible monstrosities that you probably don't really want to deal with. Not the
the lava lake inside which lives a dragon turtle who has a long-term rivalry with a plumber.
Yes.
And kidnap the princess?
That too. Yeah. Why don't we give shout-outs then? There will be some more information shared with you before we start to remember. After you've established the base, remind me, and I can give the information, because there's some unique aspects to Scarwall you will have to know about. But we'll worry about that after you explore. Okay, it sounds like it's raining. I'm trying to come in my window. Anyway, Lightning, do you want to shout anything out? You're probably not. River, and shout-outs.
No, nothing. Thank you for letting me come in and hang out and be a little bit of menace.
Joe, because I forgot to do you first than I normally do. So distracted.
Arg.
Momo.
No, I don't got nothing.
Okay. And, Worm.
I'm Diamond Worm. You can find me on twitch.tv/Diamond Worm or at Diamond Worm on Twitter. And Blue Sky. I'll be streaming Friday at 7:30 p.m. PDT. Yeah, about then. I've actually been starting early a lot lately, so, yeah, but that's my official start time. I just start early a lot.
Cool. I subtest out of Dracovin. I'm on most days of the week. I will be on tomorrow and Friday and Saturday. Saturday we'll be discussing tabletop. I didn't put this in the discussing tabletop, but I'll say it for here for people. I've got to start a little later at like 7 o'clock, so I'm just letting people know 7 o'clock my time on Saturday. And tomorrow will be Pathfinder stuff and some gaming on Friday, and some more tabletop stuff, all that kind of normal stuff. Check out my social media link below. Check out my stuff. All this goes up on YouTube. Gold Rain. I think that's all my shoutouts. I forget now. I'm getting distracted. Anyway, until next time, everybody. Farewell. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye-bye.